here's an order for Tegretol. This is, say we're looking at safe dose range problems. So order is for Tegretol, oral suspension, 0.25 grams PO, which is by mile, TID, which is 3 times a day for a child. Safe dose range is 400 to 800 milligrams per day in 3 divided doses. Though this part here, you're not going to be concerned with this section yet. It may not even need to be of a concern. We're mostly focusing on the safe dose range per day. What's available is 100 milligrams per 5 mLs, because as we go back up here, we can see that it's suspension. For this particular problem, you're not given the patient's weight because this is what the safe dose range is. It's not per milligram per kilogram per day. It's just milligram per day. So we don't need a weight for this problem. So now we look and see, okay, what is the safe dose range? Well, it's actually already given to us. So safe dose range is 400 to 800 milligrams. Okay? Dose in milligrams ordered. What is ordered is actually in 0.25. So what we need to do is convert that 0.25 to milligrams. Grams is bigger than milligrams. So on the scale, grams are over here, milligrams are over here. So what we're going to do with that, those grams is let's move it over 1, 2, 3. So that makes that be a 0, and it's going to be 250. All right? So the dose order is going to be 250 milligrams. All right? So check, we got that. Is this safe to give? Okay, so this is what's ordered, 250 milligrams. The safe dose range is 400 to 800 milligrams. Is it safe to give? Remember when we talked about safety, that means it's not effective. So we will answer no, because if we give this, it's not going to be effective to work. So that's not safe. All right, so then how much to give? So now we want to know how much to give. This would be in mLs when we ask how much to give, because we already know how much is ordered, which is 250 milligrams. But if we were to proceed to give, which we're not, how much would we give? And what you would do is go back to your basic count, and you will look at your desired, which is 250, over what's available, which is 100. And then based upon that, your 250 goes into 100. And once you multiply, after you get this result, you're going to multiply this by 5 mLs. And then once you have that, you will have your answer, which should turn out to be 12.5 mLs. Now, looking at this, just to know from what we have, if 100 milligrams per 5 mLs is available and we're asking for 250, then we know that the milliliters are going to be greater than what we currently have that's available. Okay? So then that's 12.5 milliliters that we're going to give based on this problem. Okay? So that completes that one. Now let's look at one and plug in some weight. Alright, that black marker there makes my board quite smeary. Alright, so what we're going to do is now let's look at this one. Here's our order. We have augmentin. Now this one is going to be 200 milligrams, it's Q 8 hours. PO, and for this one, the weight of the child is 12.3 kilograms. All right, now the safe dose range is 20 to 40 milligrams per, I'll just write it out, but it's per kilogram per day. Now, normally what you're going to see is milligram, kilogram, day. But I just wrote out the per for you there. And this is another one in 3 divided doses. All right, so 3 divided doses. All right, so what we'll do, let's look at what is the safe dose range. All right, so safe dose range, now we have to calculate. So we take this 12.3 multiplied by the 20. That will give us our low. Then we take the 12.3 and multiply it by 40 to give us our high. So that will be 246 milligrams. This is what the 12.3 times 20 is. To 492 milligrams. That is per day. Okay? What is our dose that we're given? Go back up here. 200. 200 milligrams. But it says Q8 hours, so that's 3 divided doses. So per day, it would make it 600 milligrams. So 600 milligrams per day. All right. Is this safe to give? This is our safe dose range. Is this safe to give? The answer is no, not safe. So it's not safe. So what do we do if it's not safe? The correct thing that we do is that we will hold the dose, so hold or do not give, and then we'll clarify or contact the doctor. So we are not going to give any. So that's how that problem looks. And this is what you'll be given. Those problems that you are given weight and you're putting in safe dose range information. So if you see divided doses, just look to see what the question is asking you so you can know whether you need to look into the divided doses or if you're just looking at it per day, or you may be looking at both of the options, per day and divided doses. All right, let's do one more. We are going to do, let's see, the order, we'll do shorthanded here, is 25 milligrams of a medication, PO-BID. And where BID is twice a day. The patient's weight is 7.2 kilograms. And the safe dose range is 5 to 7 milligrams per kilogram per day. All right. What's available, what we have is 20 milligrams per 5 mLs. So with this, what are we going to find out? First, we take the 7.2, multiply it by the 5. When we do this, we get 36 milligrams. Next, we take the 7.2, multiply it by the 7. Then we will get 50.4 milligrams. Now this means, per day for both of those. So the low will be this, the high will be this, 50.4. The order is for 25 milligrams twice a day. 25 twice a day makes 25 times 2 makes 50. All right, so 50 milligrams is the order. And if we look at it between this, does that 50 fall between 36 and 50.4? It does. Okay? If we ask for what would this be in 2 divided doses, we know that it's 25 milligrams is what the order is for, and that's still safe to give because this is looking at per day. Okay? Now, the next part of this is what's available. 20 milligrams per 5 mLs. So what we do here, go back to desired over hand. We desire to have 25. We currently put that over 20. Once you do this equation, you're going to multiply by 5. So 25 divided by 20, you get that answer, and then you multiply it by 5. You're going to get 6.25 milliliters. So it's safe to give, and then you're going to get 6.25 milliliters. That will be what you will be administering. So just some key points to remember. Remember 5 rights, remember conversions, reading syringes, military time. But remember those basic conversions like we saw earlier for grams to milligrams, and then to know which way you need to move your decimal. Determine if it's safe or not safe. And remember, in this case, some of the ones like we saw before, if it is not safe, that means that the drug is not effective if it's too low than within the safe dose range. And then we know that if it's higher than the safe dose range, it's not safe because it's going to be toxic and too much. So you're going to apply the information to whether it's safe or not safe, and then you determine whether it's per day or whether it's in divided doses by the hours, and then you're going to answer according to what is asked in the question. Remember, these questions may be 4 points or 5 points or so, depending on what is being asked. Okay, that's the end.